Hey, welcome back to your favorite show of all friggin' time, Joel's on Sports, man. We've been on hiatus for a while, but we are back. We are better than ever. And I tell you, been all around the world in the last couple months. And if I'm in Washington D.C., if I'm in New York, if I'm in Napa Valley, if I'm in Abu Dhabi, Honolulu, wherever I'm at, people are asking me, "Hey, when are you guys going to be back?" Well, we are back tonight. We are better than ever, and we're glad to have you, folks, listening to us this evening. I'm Mike, Zach, Hallie B.
I am doing all right.
Man, that is friggin' phenomenal. We were both kicking some serious butt this summer, and we are ready to talk to you about the sports world. Lots of stuff going on. I mean, just a kind of quick recap. Our last show was around UFC 30 2 months ago. Since then, we've had the NBA Finals, the Boston Celtics. We've had the freaking Florida Panthers, which still makes no sense to me having NHL in Miami Beach, but they won the Stanley Cup. Uh, Crazy stuff. Zach, man, take it away. Lots to talk about in the college football world.
Yeah, we got football next month, so we don't have much to talk about right now since it's baseball. And baseball hasn't really ramped up. They're in the middle. So, playoff baseball is different and the race at the end, but, I don't want to sit here and talk about these Tuesday evening games and stuff like that. So,
No,
football is coming back. OU and Texas are in the SEC now, which is a big deal. Um, I don't know if all the other switches happened yesterday too or not, but Oregon and Washington
I
are
didn't think
moving.
about that. Yeah.
I didn't know because OU and Texas kind of overshadowed everything. But yeah, I just want to talk about ball because we're in that point where it's dead in the summer and we're just waiting. Um, so I was thinking we could just talk about football and get people's minds gearing in that direction a little bit. Just
Yeah,
talking about.
there's some cool stuff coming up. Obviously the Oklahoma, Texas to the SEC and the giant freaking productions that's been going on with that the last 24 hours. I just saw something else tonight. The in season, or actually, sorry, in camp HBO Hard Knocks with the New York Giants premieres tonight on Max. So I'll be checking that out. I don't care nothing for the freaking Giants, but it's good that football's just around the corner, and I think that we're definitely going to touch on the EA Sports game that's coming out here in a couple of weeks.
That's the best part because we haven't had that for a decade, but now you can kind of split up summer a little bit more.
Mm.
So we'll get the game in 2 weeks from today, actually, and you get to play that. You get to get that itch out of you for college football. And once you're familiar with the game and complexities of it, real football is coming on your TV. So I think that'll be cool waking up on Saturday, watching game day, and playing a game before on the video game before the real ones start at noon. I think that'll be cool.
Oh yeah, I
But
can't wait, man. Can't wait.
um man, 24th of August is week 0. So 22 days and a month and 22 days
Mm.
till college football's back. That's not terrible. It's a lot of change though. All those teams moving conferences and the playoff being bigger, which I think is cool. And I think Oklahoma might actually win a playoff game finally. So that'll be cool.
You got to write
And
that down in blood.
maybe not this year, but next year. Yeah, I don't think they'll make the playoff this year. But yeah, just more opportunity for stupid stuff to happen because that's what happens in college football.
Mm. That's what
There's
makes it
going to
fun.
be, oh, yeah, exactly. And losing a game or two isn't going to hurt as bad now with that because there's going to be some brutal um, scheduling in those big conferences, Big Ten, SEC. It's going to be hard to go 12-0, 13-0 with the conference championship.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
losing a game or two, LSU walks into Alabama and they lose, their season's not over. So I think that's good. I mean, the games still have a lot riding on them, but you have a little bit more margin for error there.
Yeah, I think one of the beautiful things about college football is that every one of the games has always mattered. Sometimes maybe too much. If you're Alabama playing Middle Tennessee State the week before Thanksgiving, I mean, that shouldn't happen. But if you're Oklahoma playing Texas every year, those games should matter at the end of the season. And I think that with this expanded playoff, it's going to make a big difference. It's going to spread the wealth just a little bit. And I mean, in recent years, I'm not a fan of either one of them, but the Washington Huskies had a heck of a run. Michigan Wolverines had a heck of a run the last 2 years. They won one national championship before Jim Harbaugh ran off. But if you go back a little bit further, we had this never-ending cycle of Alabama, of Ohio State, of Clemson, and it was like rinse, repeat, toss LSU in there every now and again. And those were the teams that, I mean, hey, yeah, I got to give it up to them. They were the best. But I think that this is going to spread things out, and it's a long time coming. Okay, I know that when the BCS, the Bowl Championship Series, died and the 14 playoff came up, we were happy as a clam with that. It was inevitable for it to increase. I didn't think they were going to go to this many teams, but in school opens it up. 12-team playoff. If you're a coach, you can go into some big time recruits house and say that, hey, we made the playoff last year. And that, if you get enough of those guys to want to go someplace else besides Georgia, Alabama, LSU, Ohio State, Michigan, even Oklahoma, Texas, then it's going to spread the wealth. It's going to make the game better for everybody. It's going to bring more fans to the table. It's going to be pretty sweet.
My favorite thing about this is there's meaningful football for a month. Uh, the end of December to the end of January, there's playoff games. I also like that there's home games on campus. So you're going to see the college football playoff logo plastered on home field uh, stadium. So you're going to have Ohio State and Virginia Tech playing at Virginia Tech, and they're going to have the the logos on the field, the production, all that. It's a playoff game. And we haven't seen it yet where it's not neutral site. This is going to be in front of your people, your crowds, your fans, your traditions, all that. You're at home. So I think it's going to be interesting to see if teams can pull off upsets on the road. That would suck the life out of those fans pretty bad. But I think it's going to be a big difference having those fans there, where a bowl game, it's 60-40, 55-45 kind of split with the
Mhm.
fans, depending on where you are too. But
Yeah,
this,
yeah, absolutely.
it's gonna be 95-5, stuff like that. So you best get a bye for the playoff, because if not, you might be strolling into a place like Oregon or Penn State in front of their crazy fans, and
Yeah.
that's just the first game of the playoff too. So that, I think that's really cool. I mean, there's big time games this year, but all leads to the playoff, and that first week, the on campus playoff games, it's going to be really cool, I think.
Yeah, that's going to be an experience unlike any other, man. It's going to be so awesome to watch that. And it's going to be here before we know it. If I had that universal remote right now, I would fast forward to the end of August without a thought. Um, we can't do that, so we have to grin and bear it. But that's okay. Got plenty to talk about. And we got the college football video game coming up here. but I do think it's interesting how a lot of this stuff is coming about this year with all these different teams in different conferences, what they're going to do. This looks to be the most chaotic college football season of all time. And then add into it the 12-team playoff. It's going to be absolutely awesome.
I mean, man, I'm just looking at my schedule right now. Week 2, you got Michigan and Texas playing, and that was those were 2 playoff teams last
Hmm.
year. The non-conference games are pretty strong the first couple weeks, but we're gonna get into conference games, and you have these new teams in these new conferences wondering how they're gonna do. USC is gonna stroll into a place like Michigan State. I don't know if they're scheduled to play them, but they're gonna have to fly across the country, play these teams at 9, 10 a.m. their time.
Hmm.
You know, their body clock for how far away they are, other side of the country, and they're for them, they're waking up early to play football. It's noon here, but back home it's not. So that's going to be interesting. The style of play for these teams, I think OU and Texas, they're not going to have as much trouble as everyone's making it out to be in the SEC. Of course, you got the top, you got Georgia, you got Alabama, LSU, but after that, it's a big drop off. You have teams that'll beat you, upset you here and there, Auburn, Tennessee, kind of thing. But the infrastructure and how those programs are ran in Austin and Norman, they're not going to fall off like people think. I wouldn't be surprised if you see one of those 2 teams in Atlanta in December. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I think that it is interesting when you listen to the different talk shows, ESPN, Fox Sports, everything, and read the talking heads, the stuff that they put out there about what's going to happen. I think that the SEC has obviously earned this pretty crazy reputation that they are the best conference in college football. And the results speak for themselves. I mean, the past 20 years, they've won the vast majority of national championships. I get it. Makes sense. Obviously, Alabama's had that giant run, and now Georgia is the terrifying team. But I think that they kind of gotten pretty full of themselves too. All right. And look, hey, lifelong Sooner here, grew up in Oklahoma City, went to school there. I didn't graduate. None of my, quite a few degrees are from the University of Oklahoma, but maybe someday. I spent a good chunk of my life there. I know how things are. I know how the fans are. And they're used to winning 10, 11, 12, 13 games a year. It's going to be interesting to see how things go. Okay. We saw that Brent Venables just got a nice big contract extension. They've done a lot of infrastructure improvements there at Gaylord Family Memorial Stadium. The name, image, and likeness fund has grown exponentially. They're not losing guys like Jackson Arnold to Texas, who's thrown hundreds of millions of dollars at players. Um, the Sooners are doing something here, and it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. We can. I'm sure that we'll have multiple more shows between now and the start of the season when we do predictions and game by game and all this stuff. But um, I just think that we need to enjoy the freaking moment. Okay. It's too easy to go down that list and say, Middle Tennessee State, win. Texas, win, always. You know, Alabama, Ole Miss, win. Auburn, win. LSU, yeah, it's going to be tough out there. And let me tell you something. When I was Zach's age, Zach can legally play blackjack in Vegas now, in case you're wondering. When I was Zach's age, if the Sooners didn't beat or weren't ahead by 50 points at halftime against Kansas, I was, what the hell's going on? What, this is ridiculous. Come on, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Fire Switzer. That was what my dad used to say all the time. The Sooners would be up 65-7 in the fourth quarter and they'd fumble, and dad would be, they need to fire Switzer. And I'm sure that a lot of our listeners grew up in an environment like that. This is good memory. You don't fire the coach who's ahead 65-0, but it's going to be interesting to watch. And over the years, I've kind of chilled just a little bit. My blood pressure doesn't spike to 395 over 278 when Oklahoma and Texas are in overtime. That's a good one there. But I'm excited to see these games. I mean, look, the Big 12 respect to the Big 12, they have some really good programs. Texas Christian, Kansas State, man, I tell you, those guys are like they're like kryptonite out there for a lot of these big programs. Kansas State gets two-star recruits. If they get a three-star recruit, they're jumping for joy. But every year they give the Sooners, the Longhorns, and some SEC team in the bowl game everything they can handle. Good programs out there. Texas Tech is a good program. Even Oklahoma State, the little tiny brother out there of the Sooners. Yeah, heck of a program. They won a lot of games. But I am much more excited to see the Sooners play LSU and Bama and frickin' Tennessee every year. It's going to be great. Are they going to win all those games? Not no, but hell no, they're not. I mean, nobody does. You look back at recent vintage Alabama and Georgia teams who won national championships. They lose a game along the way, someplace. Okay, so just most exciting college football season ever, in my unqualified opinion. So much going on, the different teams in different conferences, the playoffs, college football, EA Sports game coming up. What could be better, man?
I just think it's cool to be nervous watching games. Waking up and you got LSU this week and you're freaking out. And you got Bama coming to town before Thanksgiving. And even Texas, they're playing in Georgia in Austin, I believe. And that'll be a huge game. That's a those two teams might be in the playoff.
Yeah,
That's big time football. So just stuff like that. It's exciting. You're gonna see Oregon, Ohio State playing a big time game, and I want to say September, middle of September. That's gonna be a big one. It's it's interesting to see some guys that moved around too. DJ Oogie Loogie, he was at Clemson, went to Oregon State. He's in Florida State now. It'll
hmm
be interesting to see how they perform this year. I think they might kind of go back to down to earth, but Dylan Gabriel out to Oregon. Oregon might be a top two team in the country, and they might not be two this year. They're really good. They got defense. Their offense is gonna average 43, 45 points a game. They're gonna be crazy on offense. And
yeah, crazy coach too.
I like Lanning. I think he's got that killer's eye in him. He tries to
Oh
take you
yeah,
out, and I like
he's got it, man. He coaches like he's playing EA Sports.
it.
Hey,
Oh,
we go for it. We don't kick. We go for it.
oh, I mean that's my name here. We are, Marshall's
Yeah.
coming, and be interesting to see how that plays out. But yeah, man, we got 2 weeks to college football technically, and then we gotta wait another 5 or 6 for the real
Mhm.
thing. But it's exciting, man. I got a lot of buddies that are gonna get the game. You and Blake. It's gonna be great just hopping on there, and I think it'll be exciting. There's gonna be big games coming on during the season. You're gonna say, "Hey, let's go play this on Friday night." And they'll play Saturday morning and say, "Well, I knew they were gonna win. I beat you last night by 50 points."
Yeah.
So I think it'll be exciting. They had some news come out today with the transfer portal stuff like that, and they put a lot of detail into that. It's exciting. I wouldn't be surprised if you play a game on there and you're thinking this is kind of like on TV. The stuff you see, what you hear, the announcers, the sights, the visuals, all that. They took a
Mhm.
lot of time to make this game, and it's super exciting. And 11 years off, I still play the old one. So
Yeah.
might have to retire that officially, but did us well for a long time, and it's super exciting. I haven't shut up about it for too long.
Yeah,
So
you've been nagging me about this for at least 2 years. Yeah.
yeah. So it's super exciting. You get to choose a lot of different paths. You can start at Alabama or you can start at Kennesaw State, and build up a program and the upsets and even cool little stuff. They got how teams do themes for big games. They'll have a blackout or they'll put stripes of their colors. You can even have that. So a lot of detail in it. It's just going to be fun just to play. Hop on, play as two teams you don't care about, but just to beat up the other guy.
I know that we've got a lot of let's see, Madden fans out there listening to us tonight, and that's fine. Madden's an iconic game, been around for darn near 40 years now. Good grief. Um, it's no fun to me. Yeah, I'm not what you call a gamer. I played a lot of video games when I was a kid, but I'm not a gamer as it is. But when I do play, I want it to be fun. And the college football game from 2014, a decade later, is still fun to play. So there's that expectation that the new game is going to be fun. You sit down and you're playing with your buddies, you're playing an exhibition game, you're doing whatever. It's supposed to be fun. Madden hadn't been fun to me in a long time. Um, Probably the last time Madden was fun to me was when it was on the Wii, and that there was absolutely no skill with that whatsoever. So all indicators are that the EA Sports College Football game is not going to be a Madden clone. I really hope that it's not. As long as it isn't, should be really fun.
I just think having the crowd in the game is a big deal. Madden does a bad job with that. And I've seen on some of the trailers they've dropped at big time environments, your screen shakes and your play art. So you're running a slant and it's too loud and your receiver forgets his route and he runs a fade route instead and you get picked off. Stuff like that will happen in the game. And Madden, it's not really focused on that. Madden, it used to be a great franchise, but it's gotten super dull. And that's all on the developers because this is the same company. You can just tell they
Mhm.
have a lot of passion for this project. So that's why I think it's going to be so good because they've taken a long time to make the game. They pushed it back a year. They've had plenty of time to tune things, all that. But a lot of these guys in the old games, in the credits, they would show the guys that made the game, and then next to their name would show their team that they liked. So these
Mhm.
are guys that on Saturdays they watch college football, they follow recruiting, the portal, all that stuff. So having people that care and they're making this game not just for us but for them because they're trying to make something that they can enjoy and it corresponds with uh, what they like to do in the real world, college football. So I just think that passion is there, and you can see it. You can even with the announcers, those guys that sucks. They said they have to do hundreds of hours of commentary, and I bet at the
Mhm.
time that really sucks. But how in depth they've gone with this, they have calls for every single situation that could happen, and they really took their time. And I think that's what they've needed. But it's just gonna feel different. They said it's faster. The I just think the uniforms are cool. I like messing around with those. NFL uniforms aren't. too exciting for me. But you'll feel big games. You'll feel when you're in the Cotton Bowl. You'll feel when it's the Iron Bowl, games like that. You'll feel it, and it's exciting. I mean, 2 weeks out. At one point, it was 11 years, so I don't think 2 weeks is too bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad at all. Yeah, it's coming up soon. EA Sports College Football 2025. Just a big time thing. I it's got the casual video game fans like me all bursting at the seams with excitement. So gonna be cool. We'll be out there on PS5 jamming the that's not the right word, but having a heck of a good time. Okay.
I got a pitch for you.
All right.
Uh, I don't know how this would work, but I was thinking of getting some buddies together and we play a game of college football against each other. And I don't know how we'd go about putting that out, but I just think it'd be kind of funny watching you try to figure out the buttons and me throwing it over the top of you in front of our audience of 18 people or something like that.
Oh,
But
we can I don't know how there's a couple different ways that you can do that. I haven't shown it in my production value, but I'm starting to do a lot of research on uh yeah, content creation and videos and cameras and stuff like that. I'm learning. I'm filing stuff away. And you don't have to be on one of those streaming platforms. What's that one that the video game nerds do, the Twitch, I think? You don't have to do that. You can actually film yourself, even with the iPhone while you're playing. You can do that. Yeah, that'd be entertaining. I like that idea. I mean, man, we might break the internet when we do that one.
yeah, I was thinking about it. I have a lot of time on my hands at work. I'm outside and um, I'm more creative when I don't have something distracting me. So I just thought about that and was thinking it'd be kind
I
of
think it's
funny.
a
So
freaking brilliant idea, man. I like it. I like it a
yeah,
lot.
but yeah, super exciting stuff. And my summer is gonna get kind of crunched after that. I might put a lot of hours on that till school starts, but I'm
Mhm.
I think it's worth it. I've been waiting so long and followed all the details since they said it's coming back a couple years ago. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's a big deal, and people are going out there and taking work off. I got work off. Being honest, I took work off. Don't tell my job that, but that's what that was for. And people are going out buying the new Xbox or PlayStation just for one game. So
Mhm.
it's a big deal, and
I'm one of those people. Yeah, I don't have a PS5 currently, so yeah, I'm one of them.
not yet. You'll have it tomorrow on June 3rd, July 3rd.
I will have it sometime in the next week. It's just
I believe
you know
it.
because I'm not a gamer, I don't think about this stuff at all unless I'm getting a nagging text from Zach saying 28 days, 47 days, 46 days. And then what was one he had that was really good? He was going to beat me to death with something. Uh,
I'm not beating you to death. I said I
well,
wanted.
yeah, yeah, I mean verbally,
Yeah,
it was pretty entertaining. So, yeah, I'm excited about this. It's going to be fun. And if any of our listeners have any ideas about how to put some of this stuff together or want to participate, then hey, you should, man. The more the merrier. It'd be pretty cool.
yeah. I'm gonna try to set up. It's called Dynasty, where you take your school and you play through a season. So I don't know how many people that watch this show have PlayStation or not, but if
Yeah,
you want to, we're gonna try to get 5, 10 people or so together, and we'll get to play each other and stuff online and build your team up. It's cool. The old games had it too, but I was just too young. I didn't really get into that too much. But
yeah,
I'm gonna have to figure all that out. But if anyone's interested in that, then I'm not hard to find. So
yeah. Me neither. Yeah, pretty cool, man. Yeah, looking forward to it. It's going to be great. Um, Yeah, so I mean, it's the 2nd of July. Just, I remember this time last year, one of our least watched episodes, we did a 4th of July Nathan's Hot Dog Show. And I got to comment on this real quick as it's coming up. Joey Jaws, who stole our nickname, um, Chestnut, he's not going to be there. There's some kind of a stupid, insane competitive eating food league rivalry conspiracy, some kind of weird crap. So the guy that who is synonymous with the mustard belt shall not be there to defend his title. I only bring this up because we did a show about it last year that a couple people kind of caught me on the street and said, "What the bloody hell was that?" You know. But hey, you can go back and watch it, and I thought it was pretty fun.
I've never done drugs, but if he drug tested us after that video, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't even know what that was. I was laying in bed and we were just talking about stupid hot dogs. That was dorky. But back to business here. Got our video game coming out, got football coming back. Just turning on game day at 9 in the morning and having that feeling again. Not on a campus now that has buzz surrounding it, but I know what that feels like and it's special. So if anybody watching this is around that, just enjoy that. It's exciting. Professors let you out of class early, and everyone's just excited. It's in the air. It's a weird thing that's hard to describe, but if you
Is
know,
there
you know.
any, is there, I don't think I ever asked you this. Is there any buzz at all down there in Athens for Ohio U for, let's say they got like a Tuesday night Maction game on ESPN? Does anybody care?
No,
No?
it's it was a circumstance me coming back home, but I at a premier college football program in school. It's crazy because you just feel it everywhere. Even people that don't care about football, everyone's
Hmm.
talking about. Um, Hear it. It just doesn't matter. It's people go to the games. It's not like it's a 2,000 people in the stands kind of thing. But I I'm not overly excited about it. If they're playing someone interesting, or if it's Wednesday night and I don't have homework, I'll go sit in the stands and get hot chocolate or something. But
I'm
I
looking forward to attending a Maction Tuesday or Wednesday night game this year. I think it'd be
well,
fun.
you're welcome, but it's high school football, man. Actually, a little bit less exciting. So it's it's a good thing to do if you don't have anything else going on. But yeah, it's definitely no Oklahoma, Tennessee kind of feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there's not a whole lot that's that big, but the the game is right around the corner. We got some good stuff coming up. We got video games. We got uh, with the Hard Knocks with the NFL. They're actually doing two of them. They're doing one with I think it's the training camp with the Giants, and then the regular one. Who the heck is that? Is it the Colts?
I thought it was the Bears.
I think it is the.
Maybe
Eh,
yeah.
I should
I
know that.
thought
I think it is the Bears, and I think they're doing an in-season one with the entire AFC North.
that'll be interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
Bengals, Browns, Steelers, and Ravens. So we got stuff to kind of help bridge that 8,000-degree summer heat wave gap between the 4th of July and when college football starts. So yeah, it's good. Good stuff.
I suggest getting immersed in what's going on this season, checking out some big matchups with the new teams in the big conferences. There's exciting movement there and the transfer players that you're excited to see if they'll make an impact. So stuff like that. Alabama post Nick Saban will be interesting to watch. That's a big storyline. I'm gonna
Mhm.
say it for the algorithm here, but Colorado, they're gonna go 3-9 this year, 4-8 again. They suck. They're not good. Um, should be interesting to see though if they can beat North Dakota State week 1. I think they'll lose that game. Those guys are giant killers and they're champions. So
Yeah.
it's it's exciting. This point in the summer, you're just dead. You've been working, whatever. You're just waiting for kickoff. So
Yeah, it's tough.
it is tough.
We got less than a minute here. I'm gonna wrap our show up tonight. Just it's fun getting back on track. And just kind of been on hiatus. I was on vacation for a couple of weeks. Zach busy with school. Um, just and then like we were talking about at the top of the show, baseball was my first love, but it's just kind of hard to talk about, honestly. I would have rather talked about the Sooner softball team who won a fourth consecutive national championship since we had our last show. But hey, we are back. I know that you folks are happy to see us back. And Jaws on Sports is a juggernaut, and we shall continue. We will see you soon. We're looking forward to the football season right around the corner, and I know that we'll have a show here pretty soon about the EA Sports 2025 college football game where we actually get to play the darn thing. So I'm Mike, Zach, buddy. Have a good night, all you folks out there. Stay hydrated. Wash your hands. We love you. Good night.